Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Town Hall on 12/2 here. We're excited to have everybody here tonight, and Cordy is literally on a bus with the Trump campaign. We've got two exciting guests we're going to get to in a second. It's really been quite the week for the recall, if you will. Gavin is bringing us a lot of national attention, and I always get asked the question, why recalling Gavin? Also, I know that a lot of these court cases flying around, not just ours, but the Kylie Gallagher one, and I want to put it in perspective a little tonight by reading to you from the Constitution. And you know where I'm going with this next for those of you out there, not the US Constitution, but the state Constitution. When I'm bored, sometimes occasionally, I read things. And a couple of key articles right out of our state constitution and why we're fighting the fight today. Article 4 defines an emergency statute as one necessary for the immediate preservation of public peace, health, or safety. Great. Any proposed bill, including provision, includes a statement of facts constituting the necessity. Here's the important part. It requires a 2/3 majority of each house to separately pass the bill's urgency sections. Now, what that means for you fans out there, that Gavin Newsom with his executive orders, which we have to go to court and rule illegal, think about this, is violating our own Constitution. You've heard me say this before. When you get a chance, read the California Constitution. So he literally has violated that. It's written right in there under Section 4, and you can look it up. Another important portion here, which I think is very relevant to the show we're doing tonight in small businesses and why we're winning these court cases, as we're going to talk about the California Restaurant Association won their part today, is under our California Constitution, unlike any other state constitution, the people that wrote our rights in California wrote them to protect us. And it strongly protects us as the corporate existence of cities and counties and grants them broad home rule powers. That gives charter counties, in effect, control over their own municipal affairs. What that means is all the rezoning things done even before COVID, all the rules that Gavin puts out saying we must shut down entire states, we must shut down cities, we can't open Disneyland, are technically illegal. That's why we have to take Gavin to court, but more importantly, that's why we have to recall him. Now, Oren, why don't we flip to you a little bit for a few words of wisdom, and if you don't have that, give us the best you got.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. You're absolutely right. The governor is on the rampage. He has been proven time and time again that, he is wrong. The courts have ruled against him when he tried to eliminate Trump from being on the ballot, the primary ballot. And, as we go forward, every time he goes to court, he loses, folks. He loses. I have no idea how this man got into office, but more and more evidence is mounting that he was selected, not elected. And it's time to remove him. As John Voight said, this is the time to fight. We are on the front lines, and every one of the volunteers on this recall mission is on the front lines to fight this battle between good and evil. And we need your resources. We need your help. We need everybody, all hands on deck. As we go into the winter months, it gets even more difficult out there to gather signatures, and we need everybody out there doing everything they can. Pass it around to your friends and your family. During the holidays, people are off work. It's time to take that moment, take that opportunity, grab a clipboard, get off the keyboard, grab a clipboard, stop being a keyboard warrior and tweeting out things and posting things all day, and get on the street, get on the sidewalk and start circulating this petition with us, folks. This is, at this point, an all volunteer effort, and the volunteers have done an amazing job through the searing summer heat, the choking smoke from the fires, the COVID shutdowns. Our volunteers fought through that, and they prevailed, and they've gathered half of the signatures needed. The courts, like Mike said, The courts have agreed with us that because of the shutdowns, because of the illegitimate mandates that this governor has imposed on the state, that we suffered because of that, and granted us an extension, 120 days. This is a do-over, a restart, but we're starting from the halfway mark. So we only have half left to gather as we go forward, but we need all hands on deck. We won that battle, but we haven't won the war. There's still a lot of work to be done, and we need everybody to pitch in and do that, whether that's your funding to help fund the fight, your financial assistance, or your voluntary assistance in the field. We need everybody's help, and spread the word.
Before we get to our guest tonight, I want to stress a couple things. This is a fight of the people. We hear every week saying we need donations and we need donations. We're here every week and we ask for big party money to come in, and sometimes it doesn't. But if you don't understand, this is not, again, a conservative movement. This is not, it's nonpartisan. It literally, all people of all parties, of all groups, of all races, of all political affiliations need to come together.
Mike, can I speak to that effect?
No, Warren, I'm talking. Yes, of course you can.
Welcome to Words in Edgewise between Mike and Orrin. You're welcome to join the conversation if you can fit in. But what I have to say is, after our recent town hall that we just had, I put the call out, $5,000 will buy radio spots. And immediately following that call, I got phone calls from people that were in the audience. My number is 916-761-2312. 916-761-2312. Immediately following the town hall, we had 2 donations jump in, and then a third the following day. And we have been able to launch an advertising campaign on, Mike, what's a radio station down there?
It's on the John and Ken show. Sorry, on 710.
KSI, right?
Yes, KFI down here, 710. And it's actually, we've watched our website traffic spike. We're getting lots more people coming to our website here. I want to stress something else about tonight here too, that the state.
I just want to make an announcement. This just turned into a sign-a-thon. We just got a $500 donation just now. It came in, Mike, you'll see it on your screen. Somebody was generous enough. They hit the button, they made the donation, $500 right there. That's going to go a long way. And I just want to say that, folks, there are a lot of splinter groups out there that are drafting off of the momentum that we've gathered. There's groups out there that are trying to, generate donations towards their own cause or their own functions. And, the way that your money goes directly into the recall is to donate right to the group that's listed on every petition, recallgavin2020.com. You know that it's an authentic group. Your money is going to go directly into the recall. There's no overhead. There's minimal management costs. There's no commissions drawn off of those donations at this point. And you know that your money is going to go to a good cause, and it's going to help further this. And it's 640 KFI is the thank you. I think it was Cynthia. It flashed off my screen, but it's a big help down there. I'm all the way up here in Sacramento. Forgive me, folks. I don't know the radio stations down there in Southern California, but I do know they're a popular station. The John and Ken show, very popular. And as soon as our advertisements hit their station, we saw an uptick in traffic on our website. We saw an uptick in donations to the cause, and it helps promote us and helps drive this thing closer to the goal line. And that's what we need to do. We need to keep this thing moving at a fast pace, and we need everybody to help move it forward.
And as we glide into our guest tonight, I want to say it's been quite the week for the recall. We brought on a gentleman you'll learn about more later called Randy Economy, who's a longtime veteran of the political space. He's actually helping us bring a lot of things together, including one of our guests tonight. And it's also fascinating. This isn't meant to be a political talk show, but understanding where the another real exciting development in the last week is an endorsement from the West Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce. And really, I mean, the fact everybody is coming together to do something about that. And our guest coming up, who needs to turn his camera on, Ruzba. Well, he went away for a second, but he'll be back. There he is. Sir, how are you doing tonight? Maybe you could tell us a little bit. One of the things I want to hopefully get tonight is not only about the endorsement and about your group, but the amazing story you told me about from your own, in your own words, about how the ABC is continuing to charge you extra for sidewalk tables. So you're on the air.
Sure. Good. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm driving and I joined your team.
But
I'm on the
Ruspa,
way.
we want you to be safe, my friend. We want you to be
Yes.
safe. Don't do anything
That's okay.
that's gonna put you in danger. Okay.
No, that's okay. Thank you. I just want to let you know, first of all, thank you for all of your effort. We had a conversation with Chamber of Commerce for West LA Chamber of Commerce for a few months. Finally, last week, we got full endorsement from the board of the directors, and before the endorse your campaign, that's a recall Newsom. So the chamber right now, that's officially on the board with you guys. And we're gonna introduce the ambassador to recall Newsom. So that's gonna be our direct line of the connection between you and West LA Chamber of Commerce. Myself, I'm a local restaurateur as well. Our Chamber of Commerce is 100%. We are working voluntarily. We are not charged a membership or charge the chamber for our jobs. All of the board of directors, we do have our own business. We make our own money and we serve the community back. We have more than 2,267 members before the COVID. We don't have exact number after COVID, how many of them still they are in the business. We try to contact to them as much as we can. But one of the new things that's the ABC, the net ask that I explained, because I'm a restaurateur. ABC start doing that, that's disgrace. They charge all of the restaurants for the liquor license for the entire year, which is not normal when we are not allowed to use it at the inside the restaurant. Now they enforce another fees for the restaurant. They want to serve their own wine or beer or liquor. When they have a license on the sidewalk, they have to apply for additional COVID license for the ABC. So that's another extra fees. The state start charging the restaurants and local, the small restaurants, really difficult for them to start paying those fees. So that's these two small reports. We talk about it, and that's it. If any question, I'm very happy to talking to you guys. Sorry, I'm driving. I'm not at the office. I can be freely focus on your my camera.
We understand that, my friend, and thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
But
much.
before he goes, what's the name of your restaurant where I had a most fantastic Reuben sandwich? I want to give a shout out for that.
Thank you. That's Mary and Rob on the Westwood Boulevard on the West LA. And a little short bio about myself. I'm an immigrant. I'm from Iran. I came here 20 years ago. And the people came from the different country. They know and understand the value of the freedom and the things they have. I think more than the people, they got it for granted. They never experienced different things. So my experience in my background, if just Google my name, you can see what was my background. I had already, I am a victim of the torture. I had a death sentence on my head, and I fighting for the freedom in Iran when I was 20 years old. And since I came here, I came for the freedom. I came for the enjoy the Constitution of the United States. And I understand the amendment of the United States from the first to 14 special. These 14 First Amendments, the things that people needs to understand and they need to defend. Nothing comes for free and nothing comes for granted. If you're losing it, that's hard to get back and gain it back. So just my personal experience. Very simple.
Rusva, I personally have a question for you, my friend.
Sure.
You came to America to escape oppression, correct?
Yes.
And you came here and now you're fighting for your freedom in America. And this is something Americans in their own country have never had to do before. You've experienced it and you've had to fight for it yourself. And you have a unique perspective from somebody that's migrated to America, for this purpose. And do you see a lot of what happened in your country going on in America right now?
Yes, that is true. That's I think that's and the mullahs and fundamental Islamists. And one thing the Muslims, fundamental Muslims and Islamists, they have in common with the communists.
Mike, unfortunately, I think we have a bad connection with Ruspa. We may have to bring him on another time.
We do. I want to let him know we really appreciate him and everything he's doing. Understand how powerful that is. Of 2,600 businesses, except Rusba, you're back on the air. You froze up for a second. We were covering the air for you. But I want to be careful when you're driving there. But understand how powerful this is, that we literally have 2,600 businesses in downtown in West Los Angeles going to be supporting the recall, getting places to sign. We've got a lot in motion, and everybody here, we need more volunteers down there. The Los Angeles team has done a great job collecting over 70,000 signatures, but for a county that big, for an area that big, we need to take it's literally good versus evil, as we like to say. We need to take it back block by block, area by area, and get our rights back, like Rusba has said, right? And by the way, if you get a chance, he has such a long bio, and he's in the, and something I'd like you to mention real quick while we have you on there, the victory today that the California Restaurant Association had. Could you speak real quick on that, sir?
Sure, that's California Restaurant Association, the state board of the California Restaurant Association sued the LA County, and on the appeal court, the CRA won the case, and judge ruled LA County to prove the outdoor dining spread the virus. Now that's in hand of the health department and LA County to come and prove why they shut the restaurant down. But by the way, because right now we are in the stay-home orders, is not going to make major difference. But at the end, when the stay-home order goes away, they cannot shut the restaurant separately like they did last week. So at least we are in the one winning side this time.
There's a battle going on in New York right now as we speak, and I just saw it as I was logging onto the call tonight. And in New York, there's a standoff at a restaurant between the police and a restaurant. A restaurant owner was arrested for violating the shutdown orders and hauled away to jail in handcuffs. And the people have come out in mass, and they have basically surrounded the restaurant, and the police are there in numbers blockading people from entering the restaurant. And really, this is how ridiculous level this has come to. You have the police violating their own COVID orders and social distancing orders, and the people coming together to battle over opening a restaurant. Really, wouldn't it be better just to open the restaurant, allow people to come in and dine for the evening, rather than to have a battle in the streets over arresting the owner and hauling people off to jail, wouldn't it be better to just allow people their dining experience and go home about their ways peacefully than to actually affect a fight in the streets over these rules that they're imposing on us?
Warren, let me
And
get
it's
this.
a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer, but I do want to say that we just got another donation, Mike, and it was significant. I'm going to log on to see what it was.
Great.
Rusbah, thank you so much for joining
Rusbah,
us.
thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Owen, I want to make sure be very clear on your point here, though. Are you saying that we as free citizens and adults should be allowed to make our own decisions? That seems to go against what our California government is currently
unheard of.
standing for. I'm not sure I'm ready for that, Oren. I'm only close to 64 years old. I don't know if I should be let out unsupervised yet by our governor, but we'll take that up later. Rusbah, thank you. Go.
I just
Rusbah,
want
you
to
add?
want to shout out to Larry. God bless you, my friend. I won't give your last name over this call, but your donation was well received, and it's going to go to a good cause. Thank you, my friend. God bless you.
Rusbah, is there anything you want to add before we jump to Dennis here?
Yes,
safe.
well, the last thing, that's the leaders who try to order the people to stay home, not going to restaurant. That's funny. When they own themselves, they break the orders, like the Gavin, mayor of the San Francisco, mayor of the San Jose, and recently Sheila Kuehl in LA County. So that's the way they're treating the people as a second-hand citizens. When they start separating themselves from the people, so that's the problem started.
Rusbah, you're actually saying that the rules don't apply to the people that are making them? This is really a news-breaking night. Yes, it's really rather sad we've come to this. Sir, thank you very, very much. We look forward to working and getting a lot of volunteers out there. Everybody support your Los Angeles restaurants. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for the invite. Thanks.
All right, Dennis, as I understand, I'm going to unmute you, Dennis. All right.
You got me unmuted?
No, not anymore, Dennis. Trust me, on this show, to get unmuted is a really big feat. So take it when you can, my friend. You're a former city.
Okay, I am now.
I just want to say that, Andrew, your point is well taken. We are getting some comments coming in. Stop the violence. We're not going to get violent. This recall that we're working on right now is a peaceful solution to the problems that we face in California. This recall is a lawful, peaceful revolution. This is the way we go about it, with by obeying all the laws and regulations and so forth. And we offer the only peaceful resolution to the problems that we're facing right now. Dennis, thank you so much. I didn't mean to interrupt you, my friend, but these come in real time, and we like to answer them as they come up once in a while.
It's all about the power of the pen. Dennis, tell us a little bit about you. You're a former city councilor.
I totally support it. So I did 33 years with LAPD and 12 years in the LA City Council, Nate Evangelino, and I've seen the city and the state fall apart. There's no question that it's deteriorating. There was a recall on a former governor. It was successful. That governor, Gray Davis, didn't do half as bad as what we see happening with Gavin Newsom. And what we find happening in the state of California right now is the exodus. I know a lot of folks that are retiring from law enforcement, fire service. They're leaving the state in droves. I know the home rates, property prices now are escalating. I don't know why, but a lot of folks are upset, frustrated. What we have in Los Angeles and state of California, I've been up and down the state a few times, is you've got a homeless population that's out of control. Go to San Francisco, come down to Los Angeles, and everywhere in between. And the governor's doing nothing about it. The governor is the handsome guy, the slick back hair, and what he wants to do is just serenade and parenade. He wants to have a party. So he was a board of supervisor. He was the mayor of San Francisco. He's worked his way up the political ladder, and now he's the governor, but he's done a terrible job. And what we find happening is he supports higher taxes. The voters defeated 15, which they said, no, we don't want higher taxes. He'll come back again. His whole attitude is, you do what I say, and I'll live my life the way I want to live. And we have that state of emergency that he's declared, which it can't continue forever because according to law, there's a term on the emergency order. It doesn't continue as he's trying to use to usurp the legislature, the Senate, and the Assembly to do what he wants to do. We're all suffering from it. So no matter where you live in the state of California, you are under the gun by Gavin Newsom. So it needs to be peaceful. I come from a background of law enforcement. You don't want to go out there and do some crazy things. It needs to be peaceful. But just look at how dysfunctional the state is. You look at the Department of Employment, $400 million given to people who are in state prison for murder, robbery, rape. I mean, it's outrageous. $400 million of tax dollars. People who are getting money, they're being cared for by the state, first off, and somehow the state is so dysfunctional that you've got the Department of Employment passing out $400 million. That's the latest number that came out. You got the Department of Motor Vehicles, it's in shambles. So you got a governor who has the authority to do things. Remember, he's got a Democratic Assembly, a Democratic Senate. He doesn't have any opposition. There's some tokenism in there, but they don't have any clout. They don't have any power. I spoke to a local assemblyman here in Los Angeles. He said, we did a miserable job this last legislative session. We had everything in our hands, but we couldn't handle it. You got full control as the governor with the Democrats in charge. And I don't want to bash the Democrats or the Republicans. I'm a no party preference. I'm a decline to state individual. I vote for the person, not the party. But the fact of the matter is people are so frustrated. You either move out or you change. And that's what I think people are coming to do, is make the change. And you folks are leading this. 135 people participating on this today to this evening. And it's wonderful to see people getting up and doing something. I haven't seen one person in Los Angeles circulating petitions. And I write columns called Rants and Raves. It goes into Fox and Hounds, Northern California, down here in the San Fernando Valley on City Watch, which is a website out of the city of Los Angeles. I will be promoting this and encouraging people. I signed it. I was down in the desert in Palm Springs area. A gentleman was in front of a Walmart. I signed it. And I said, well, there's nothing in the city of Los Angeles. There may be people out there, but they're hidden away. So in Los Angeles right now, you can't go to a restaurant. You can only go to In-N-Out Burger, and you got to take it with you. You cannot inside, you cannot eat inside, you cannot eat outside. And the governor comes down with these ridiculous orders. There's a shopkeeper, a restaurant down in the beach area, and he put up French Laundry as the sign, and he's serving, and he doesn't care. He'll probably end up getting arrested or get shut down. But the bottom line is people have to get off and do something. And this is what we can do legal, what we can do in a proper manner and make the change. Ken and John, I'm friends with them. I've been on their show many times, 640 KFI. They have a huge audience. It's a very conservative audience, but we need to reach out to the conservatives, the liberals, and everyone in between, because if you're living in this cesspool of Los Angeles or state of California, if the homeless haven't hit you yet, they will. And what we find is the deterioration and the increase in taxes. All they want is more tax dollars and a lousier quality of life every time you turn around. Our schools are in shambles. We're now taking food and giving it to the parents because they don't have a job to feed their families. So now LA Unified School District is giving food out to the families so they'll have something to eat. Instead of the people working, which they should be, we've got this whole place locked down. It's a sham. And this governor, the leader of this state, has done a miserable job. And if we don't recall him and he gets reelected, God help this whole place, it'll burn up with the fires that come along and everything else that we find happening. It's a disaster. And I commend both of you, Oren and Mike, I commend both of you for bringing this about. I did not know until Randy Economy called me and said, hey, we've got a program going. I want to get you involved. I will be committed. I'll get involved and I will be leading that crusade. I do a lot of media in Los Angeles. And believe me, you folks have something positive that's going. But we need to get, there's 136 on the panel, participants. We need to increase that number as high as we can. Everybody should get the petition. And when you go to whatever you go, to your family, to your friends, you got holidays coming up. Just think in Los Angeles, you can't go Christmas shopping now, and Christmas is coming up. You can't do anything. All these restaurants that went out and bought the covers and bought the heaters to keep people warm when they want to dine, you can't do that. They're out thousands and thousands of dollars. This whole state is a cesspool, and this governor, the leader of this state, is totally responsible. And hopefully people will come online and say, you know what? I want to get involved. I don't want to leave. One thing we have in California, there's one thing that everybody agrees on. We got nice weather. We got a beach, we got a desert, we got nice weather. But other than that, we got a homeless population out of control. We are the second rat infested next to Chicago. They're number one. We're number two in the country in California. It's outrageous that this continues. People get off your fanny, get involved and do something. Otherwise, it's going to fall on you. It's going to fall on your children, your grandchildren. And God bless you for carrying on. And I can carry on forever. But God, I mean, I am so fired up. It's incredible how this has gone on so long. and your outreach has to continue. I know, Oren, you got a law enforcement background, I got a law enforcement background, and we get committed to something, we get committed to something. We're not going to go out and hurt people. What we're going to do is encourage them. Let's make this state what it can be. It used to be a great place, used to be wonderful, but it's really deteriorated with the traffic congestion that we have, with the rat infested, with the homeless, and they can't stop it. It's like a runaway train. But no, let's talk about the runaway train. Let's talk about the train to nowhere. Let's talk about the super train they're spending billions of dollars on, not millions, billions.
Let's talk about derailing Gavin Newsom's political career.
Well, his
Dennis, let me emphasize
this part. Yeah.
Let me emphasize something too for everybody out there. Not only we have 136 people and probably like 4,000 watching this tonight. I want you to understand that everybody here, okay, we need people like you to keep spreading the word. This may be a shock to you, my friend, but the mainstream media has given us that would be zero attention. Okay, so this is all 800,000 we gathered. It's all been done with the hard work of people here and a lot of the people watching on Facebook tonight. But the scoreboard is it's really hard to get the word out in Los Angeles. We've been on John and Ken for just a minute, literally, and we had 80,000 hits in the minute that we had. That was 3 months ago. We need to get back on their show. We need every single conservative patriot out there, both radio show. We need every single liberal group, every single ethnic group to get out there and help us get the word out on this petition.
Hey, Mike, I just want to say that I'm watching the comments scroll by. Linda, you're a true patriot. And you're a hardworking volunteer on the effort, and you had a great idea. Folks listening to this, and there will be 10, 15,000 listening to this by the week's end. Turn your car into an advertising campaign. Get some chalk paint. Go out there, decorate your windshield. Mark Durham does it. He's driven all up and down the state. He's driven probably about 10,000 miles up and down the state already, and displaying Recall Gavin 2020.com, Recall Gavin Newsom, Recall Gavin. You got to put the website in there to make it, go to the right place, because if they go to Google and they just start Googling, Recall Gavin, they might get distracted by some of these offshoot campaigns, and we want to make sure they get to the right place. Recall Gavin 2020.com.
Absolutely. But get involved. It's your state, it's your city, it's your jurisdiction, it's your children, it's the schools. I mean, I feel like we're living a nightmare. We're watching a nightmare on television where all of a sudden everything falls apart. This is like a horror story, and we're watching it. We're living it. You can't do anything right now. It is outrageous that the people of California, like a little sheep, are just falling over, not doing anything. Get up. All you got to do is sign a petition, circulate with your family, with your friends, stay 6 feet apart, wear the mask, do what you need to do, but get it done. This recall has worked in the past. It has worked successfully. It can work again. You don't have to have millions and millions of dollars, but this governor is absolutely terrible. And we can see all the things he's done. I can go on for hours on the things he's done that are terrible and what he supports. More taxes, more taxes, more taxes. And he's going to go to the French Laundry. And I've never been to the French Laundry, but I'll tell you what I've heard about it. It's very expensive and it's very nice. And most people who are on this call right now aren't going to be able to ever venture in there because you don't have what it costs, $500 or something to get in the place. It's outrageous. So he's living the fat ass life and we're sitting out here struggling, making ends meet. So I've got another appointment I've got to get to, but I will be on board. Randy, Economy, thank you for getting me involved. I hope he's on board. He's down in Palm Springs. And both of you, Mike and Oren, I know you guys are tribute to this. I would have worn a tie and a shirt, but I figured, you know what? This is going to be somewhat casual. But next time I'll be in my tuxedo just to show how classy we can be sometimes here in Los Angeles.
You look wonderful, Dennis.
I'll show you this.
Dennis, we wear this to look smart.
This is in my kitchen, and there you go.
Very good, very good.
A true patriot, as you folks are. So,
and I want to add something here before we go to questions and other things that we're going to. That's very interesting. That people seem to be shocked at. And Rusbah mentioned earlier about the ABC taxes, but it appears that our magical state of California is going to have an even larger budget surplus predicted for the first 6 months of next year, which I found quite fascinating. And people are asking me, and I'm not smart enough to tell you how it's happening, except it's interesting because we're not getting a break on our taxes. They're being charged extra fees by the ABC. The government continues to collect money, but doesn't seem to be wanting to use it to help the people. So
You
get
mean
out there, help.
he didn't give it all to the inmates?
Well, he gave some of it to the, and only is probably $1 billion to the inmates through the EDD. But hey, what's $1 billion amongst us and the people that have done crimes against us?
Well, he had a surplus. When he came in, he had a huge surplus, but he knows how to just wash it away. But again, folks, get involved. I will be involved. I'm committed to this. And we need to make sure that we come together. The silent majority, we are a silent majority. We can overcome and make it happen and make the state what it used to be. We know, I've been here for over 70 freaking years. And I'll tell you, it used to be a great place. It has turned into a real cesspool from north to south. So God bless y'all. And I got a split. So thank you very much.
God bless you,
Thank you.
Dennis.
Thank you. God
Thank
bless
you,
you. Thank
Dennis.
you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
All right, I think what we should do now in the minutes we have left here is try to address some of the questions that we have. And I also want to talk about some of the things Orrin and I have done and the whole team in the last week. We get literally try to respond to every question and everything all the time, but literally in just the last 24 to 48 hours, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Daily Caller, TV segments. We're getting a lot of
ABC.
KABC was reached out, and we certainly have been on them. It's actually the amount of hours that we spend, and we do need more volunteers to help us with a lot of functions, not just signing, as we talked about before. This is growing exponentially, and again, we're all volunteers, including myself, Orrin, and the rest of the team we met a few weeks ago. So please, everything that you can do to help us, every idea you have is valuable. Understand we all together have taken this journey quite a long way. And really, it's I like to say the 99-cent store of recalls, if you will, because we are recalling the governor for about $1 a signature compared to the $4 it does normally. But God bless all of you that do everything you can to help, both fiscally, with your time, and anything you could do. So we just want to let everybody out there know we appreciate it. We need to get this done together. When I started off the show reading the California Constitution tonight, I was appalled myself by how blunt our Constitution is, that Gavin shouldn't be doing this. And apparently only the judges seem to be one that's reading it. And maybe Gavin really does have a reading problem and hasn't actually read the California Constitution. So maybe it would help if we all send him a copy when we recall him from office. Orrin, do you want to get to some questions here tonight?
I do, and I just want to remind everybody: welcome to Words in Edgewise between Mike and N. Mike and Orrin. You can fit in. So there was a question that scrolled by earlier. There's been a couple of them, but one of the burning questions is, I hear that Javier Becerra is going to become part of Biden's team. He's going to become the attorney general and take over AG Barr's position. Or I hear Gavin Newsom is going to appoint himself to Kamala Harris's spot. Well, we understand that. And those are considerations, but it is absolutely no reason to pump the brakes on this recall. We can finish ahead of the inauguration day. And if we do that, we effectively could end up blocking him from making that decision. And if he does make that decision, it'll be viewed as if he's running away from his problems and abandoning his state during a state of crisis. So it's really not something that we need to give much consideration to. I know, people want to put their efforts towards something that has, a possibility of being successful. This absolutely has that element of being successful, and we can succeed, but we need everybody's help to get there. This isn't a Mike and Orrin show. This isn't the state team show with Recall Gavin 2020 executive team. This is absolutely a groundswell of volunteer efforts that are getting this done. We need everybody to stay focused Don't be distracted by what could be and the what ifs and what might happen, but focus on what we know. And what we know is that he's got to go.
Absolutely. And this, look, we go on every week a little bit about we don't need to know why we need to call him from office. We need to get this done. And if big time politics, right and the left, is going to step in, that's great. But if they don't, we, the people, again, have to get this done. You can witness your own signature. I'm going through some of the questions here tonight, graphics. The main thing
But
we talk about.
not only can you witness your own signature, but just because I'm sorry, Mike, I don't
No,
mean to
you're
cut you
not.
off. It's words in.
No, you're
edgewise,
not.
right? Well,
You're being polite because there's other people on the air.
There's more to that answer. Okay. I mean, if they ask that question, it means that they haven't seen the superb video that Caesar did for us early in the campaign. If you go to recallgavin2020.com, click on the About Us tab, scroll down to videos, and check out the instructional video that was done that'll help walk you through the process. And yes, you can sign and witness your own signatures.
Right. And remember,
Sorry,
it's interesting.
you haven't seen the new menu. It's all the way at the top, videos. Then click it, and you'll see it.
Ooh, well, there you go.
Ooh, and every
So
day
the
we're redoing the
webmaster
website.
has spoken from-
The webmaster speaks from beyond the screen. So
Very
it's
good, Dan. So we
very
are
good, Dan. So
so
we're also we're doing
just like
things
our-
all the.
yeah.
And by the way,
Eeny,
Orin, thanks
meeny,
for
miny,
handing out your
moe.
phone number. I didn't have it earlier. So
Oh, you're lucky I didn't give yours out, Mike. Next time I'll give yours out.
yeah, good luck with that. Everybody has it anyway. Listen, I can't stress enough how thankful we all are to be on this journey. I know we want to get this done as fast as possible. The people we meet along the way, the people that like Scott Baio that have given a shout out, the stars, we need more star power like that. And the reason we need that, it's simply getting the word out. What I started to say is really funny, and you've all experienced out there. When we started the recall in June, people would come up and talk to you a little bit and said, why do you think we need to recall Newsom? And you'd give them 3 or 4 reasons. And we try to keep up on our website, everybody. We know that there's a lot of reasons to do it. Now they kind of yank the pen out of your hand and just sign it. So really our point is that Gavin is ticking off the left, the right, the people in the middle. It's just getting the word out. And when we talk gaining money, that's really what it's all about, folks. That's where a lot of it's going. The more radio we could do, advertising we could do, the more you reach out to radio shows to get us on the air, simply people knowing that online doesn't count. And remember to tell that to everybody, because certain groups, so we know who they are, make you think that online does count. This is a suggestion. This is a live recall. Stress that with all your friends. Stress that to everybody up there. And I'm looking at some of these comments, and I like the one that Judy put up about putting a picture of Gavin having dinner on your car. That's a really good idea, actually.
And have you noticed the bump up in the smaller donations? And I just want to reach out to everybody and thank you. You know, yeah, we make special notation when large donations come in. They're significant, but what also helps the cause are those smaller donations. Every little bit helps. Every dollar helps. Every $2 donation helps. It helps push that ball closer to the goal line. I just want to let you folks know that, you know, don't think that you have to make that big grandiose gesture. Anything you can give helps the cause, and every dollar that you give towards the cause goes towards helping us reach our goals, and that is to overturn this governor and remove him from office. This is a battle between good and evil, and it's a fight worth funding, and we need your help.
It's very, very funny here too. We get a lot of suggestions every week. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Look, folks, you don't need our permission. This is your recall, okay? Gather in groups, do whatever you can. We've designed it so this is literally like a self-help menu. One of the geniuses, which I'm going to hand Orin here right now, don't get cocky, brother, is that putting on an 8.5 by 11 paper. Anybody anywhere can print it out, sign it, and mail it in. It's the cost of a postage stamp. We would like paid petitioners. We simply don't have the money for it right now. The reality is is that everything that everybody suggests is a great idea, but don't rely on the leadership team to do it. Just do it. Okay, go out there, gather in groups, go restaurant to restaurant, business to businesses. If you don't have a printer, go to Staples. We're doing everything we can every day to spread the word. That's the main goal of the leadership team here, is to get the word out as many spots as we can. All of us are in this together to execute the recall
Mike,
of Gavin Newsom.
You know what I was going to try, and I'll probably do a live feed in the near future, but I'm going to go down to the intersection. I'm going to grab my recall Gavin sign, and I'm going to walk up and down the cars, and I'm going to ask people, with that, would you like to recall Gavin Newsom? And if they roll their window down and say they want to recall him, I'll hand them a DIY packet, and away they go. Sign it, mail it into the address that's listed on the envelope.
Not a bad idea.
We have to reach out to new audiences, and folks, cars are lined up at the Starbucks. Cars are lined up at In-N-Out Burger, and there's nothing stopping people from walking up and down those lines, handing people an envelope with a petition and instructions and a top funder form in it, and go, here you go. The instructions are right there inside the envelope. Sign it. Have 4 of your friends sign it, mail it into the address that's on the bottom of the petition and or on the envelope.
And again, yep, we are the leadership team leading you. We need more troops to lead. Oren, did you want to do the email thing tonight or defer it to next week?
What email thing?
Hold on, I
want to respond to.
Wait a second. We want to say that sometimes, look, folks, we get a lot of interesting suggestions, and we do get people sometimes that are throwing, shall we say, rocks at us through email. And we thought we'd read some of the more interesting ones, calling people out tonight. But we want you to know, folks, what we go through every day as the generals and leader of the recall. Dan, give us a couple here.
Here we go.
This is the hate mail segment.
So this is a new section that we're going to call troll mail, and we'll do it. I have lots of troll mail coming in, so we'll do quite a bit. We'll do a couple each time.
Trolls corner.
Do a couple, Dan.
Yeah, here you go. Let me get my music going here. There we go. And actually, the one that I chose, this first one, is perfect. It's directly to Oren. It's from Bill Marchese. Oren, you're a fraud. You have baseless facts and are being led by the Trump Giuliani make-up stories group. Sorry, not sorry. You will fail. Do not reply to me, and you do not have permission to contact me by any means. Oops, I think I responded to him.
Well, thanks for playing.
Okay. Oh, boy, this one's got lots of words in it that are probably not good for us in this particular meeting. I'll try and get around them.
I just want to tell Bill my tongue is bleeding.
C.A. Berea says Gavin's poop has more character than all you F-head Republican scumbags ever hope to possess. Go F yourselves, and good luck with your lame recall, you right-wing C-word. Sincerely, F something and Jack something.
Be careful with the names.
I'm very careful. This is a PG show.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting here, and Dan, we're going to stop it right there. And there was one
Perfect.
but me that I couldn't pronounce the names of the counties and da 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 da. Look.
Oh no. You are not exempt.
All right, hit me with it. Go ahead and hit me with it, because I found this one fun.
I don't have that one right here in front of me. I didn't queue it up.
Then don't worry about it, okay? But we get a number of interesting things here. And by the way, God loved the people. And this is what we've said this before. We had a troll in the feed a few weeks ago. We know that the recall is having an impact when we see our social media being blocked, when we get emails from people that simply really sit down and take the time to tell us that we don't know what we're doing or we're idiots. And God bless you for doing that. The scoreboard is, we know we're having an impact, and we're having impact as the people. And for all of you out there tonight, for all of you everywhere in Warren, I'd like to end on this note, if you don't mind, because we're about 7:30. You may have something to add, but I really don't care. So
More hate mail.
God bless everybody out there. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope that we're able to give Gavin on December 25th the best Christmas gift of all, which is to be well over 1 million signatures on our well getting him out of office. God bless all of you out there. Remember, as I started at the beginning of the show, this is a fight for our rights, for our Constitution, for our ability to take back our state, whether you're